I was in middle school. I must have been like 13 or 14 years old when I came out. I actually did not come out on purpose. I was kind of forced out of the closet because my dad saw my MySpace page and I was listed as bisexual at the time. And so he told my mom, and then she confronted me. She waited till we were like in the car, in a moving vehicle, so she couldn't, so I couldn't get away. And she just asked me like, so your dad said that he saw this thing. And she was very supportive and like she didn't care, but one thing that she said that still to this day pisses me off is she said, I believe that you believe that you're bisexual. So like she didn't really take me at my word. She thought it was like a phase. But then I just got like progressively gayer. So I'm an intern with Pride Alliance, which is the LGBTQ student organization on campus at the University of Arizona. And what we do, we kind of have 3 areas that we like to focus on. We do education, community, and support. So education is like, we do displays and resource fairs out on the mall to like just educate people about all the different identities and like how they can help and just to be more aware. I'm hosting a workshop. It's kind of my big project for the semester. It's called Made for Flight, which was originally started by a local genderqueer like poet and activist here in town called T.C. Tolbert. And he had this idea of like making and decorating kites to memorialize trans people who've been murdered in the last year, because like it's still a really big issue, even though a lot of people don't know about it. Like worldwide this year, it was 226 trans people that were murdered, and so we want to like honor them and make sure that people like are aware that this is happening. And so we make kites and we march them. We marched them in the All Souls procession last weekend, and then we also marched them on Trans Day of Remembrance, which is November 20th.
It is our right to be here, on this earth, for this time. Our lives are sacred. Our courage and bravery isn't showing up every day to our lives exactly how we are.
It's kind of a really powerful moment, and like it's really, really sad.
Galician, age unknown, April 1st, 2014, Brazil. Galician was murdered by a 16-year-old, possibly of a drug death.
But like, it's also kind of hopeful and like brings people together.
It was, I got stood up for a date with a girl, and I was just so frustrated. And it was doubly frustrated, right? Because getting stood up doesn't feel very good. And then at the same time, I was being stood up for something that I didn't even really want to do. It was just all part of this facade. And so it was at that moment where I was just kind of like, this isn't working. Like, this role that I'm playing just isn't good, so I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't go on like this. And so it was that moment. Yeah, I was sitting on the stairs of the Teatro Juarez in Guanajuato, Mexico. I'm Joseph Howell, and I'm the Director of Development for LGBTQ Initiatives, where I serve all LGBTQ operations on campus, where I'm kind of helping fundraise for all of those projects. Society has become a lot more open and welcome, not as open and welcoming as we would hope, but it's a lot easier to come out, and so we're finding that people are now coming out at 14 instead of 40, like they used to 30 years ago. Right, so in Tucson, there's not a lot of gay bars, and we're noticing this across the country, right? Gay bars are starting to die off because there's really no need. Acceptance is growing more and more every day across the board, and so most people can go into any bar and be who they are in that bar. Because Tucson has always been so welcoming and affirming of a community,